All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Outpost 138. We actually have a name for the show this time.
That's right.
I'm Stefan JD, and I'm here with
Rob St. John.
Yeah, and we are continuing our trek through the brilliant Friday the 13th series. We are on part 3, as our first episode was a double feature featuring F13 part 1 and 2. So if you haven't listened to that yet, please go check it out. But yeah, part 3, the actual real introduction of Jason, I'd say.
Yeah, and it was the real introduction of Jason, and it was the jumping on board of the 3D gimmick. Put on your 3D glasses now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So there is a number of shots in the movie you can watch now, and you're like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be in goofy ass 1980s 3D.
Which, like, if people maybe watch this movie and didn't know it's supposed to be in 3D, they'd be like, why are they doing that to the camera?
Yeah, it can get rough. But I think with this one, I'm going to take the reins on this one because this one is special to me. And it's not even one of my favorites, but it is special to me in that when I was little, we talked about it in the first episode, we always, you'd go to the video rental store and you'd check out a movie, right? And sometimes, my mom didn't take me. Sometimes, I just didn't get a movie. And so I wanted to watch horror. I had a choice of 3 movies that we had on VHS. One was this, part 3. Another was Lucio Fulci's Zombie. And the last one was Lucio Fulci's Zombie 3. So I had those 3 movies to pick from.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but like I saw, because this was the only one that I owned, I think I actually still had the tape. I saw this one a lot. So like I said, it holds a special place in my heart, even though I don't know if I'd rating it that high. But it is, it starts off pretty normal. We got the slow intro, but we cut in, and it is a middle-aged couple that owns a local, like, grocery store, country store, you want to say. You got Harold and Edna. And Harold is like a discount Mario brother. He looks awful. And and Edna is the absolute pinnacle stereotype horrible shrew of a wife. Just the curlers in her hair and just the me nagging and bitching, and I mean, she's absolutely a caricature of that type. A killer, we don't know who, surprise, is stalking around their property. Harold goes out to check. He gets a meat cleaver to the chest in a pretty good shot. I'd give that one 3 out of 5 because they don't cut away. It shows it.
Yeah, I would say about the same.
Yeah. And then, of course, Edna, she's, where's Harold? Me. And the killer sneaks up on her, and she gets a large sewing needle through the back of her neck. And that one, I'm just like a 2 out of 5, maybe. Not bad, but
it's like a 2.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just like, So then we get the intro and everything, and part 3, like we said, we miss it when movies had part 3, part 4 instead of just 4 or whatever.
Now they use like the letter R as like a subtitle, like Revolution, Revenge, Retribution. How many Resident Evil movies?
Oh, yeah. Jesus. Oh, we'll get to those. And we got part 3, and we're introduced to our gaggle of teenagers or young 20-somethings. We have Chris, who, this is no spoiler, you can look at her and just be like, that's Final Girl. You're just like, that is her. Any of your horror sense will kick in and be like, all right, that's her. We have Debbie, her friend, who is, I would say she's the token quote-unquote whore. She's promiscuous with her boyfriend, Andy, who is the stereotypical dick. Right? All he's thinking about is banging his girlfriend and drinking a beer.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, nothing really wrong with that, but he's just a douche the way he does it.
Yeah, right.
We have the iconic Shelley Finkelstein, who is the relatable nerd, outcast, dork, and I believe he is a playable counselor in the game, isn't he?
Yes, and
Yes.
yeah, he's played by Larry Zernin, Zernin, who is I think he's a real life lawyer now,
Yes, he
and
is.
yeah, and he was trying to keep us all up to date on the Friday the 13th lawsuit when that was going on.
I love that he takes pride in the part that he played in the history of this franchise. I love that. But yeah, right. He's a super cool dude, but like I said, he's the nerdy outcast guy. Supposedly kind of relatable. Then we have Chuck and Chili, who are the stoner couple, and Chuck is just like discount Chong from Cheech and Chong, and that's all they're. I mean, they're just stoners and tie dye, and that's basically their whole characters.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Then on the way they're going to Higgins Haven. This is one day after part 2. And they're not going to be counselors or anything. They're just going to get away. It's good, good times, friends hanging out. Along the way, they pick up their friend Vera, who was kind of like, she was almost like a blind date. They're trying to like hook her up with Shelly kind of thing. And as much as I love Shelly, Vera's way out of his league. She is hot.
Yeah.
She is smoking.
She does take pity on him, though, kind of through the course of the movie. I do want to mention that it feels like there's a little bit of an undertone of maybe like a little bit of racism in the script, because her character is introduced to us by her family arguing and her mother speaking in Spanish, and of course later they would be like, we don't take food stamps here to her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of an undertone there, and it's always been weird to me.
And there's some of that a little bit later on too that I'll get to. But they pick her up and they get to Higgins Haven, which is Chris's family's like little two-story cabin out on Crystal Lake. And they get there and Chris's boyfriend is already there. His name is Rick, and he's literally the generic guy, just boring generic white dude.
He could literally be named Paul, which is his real name, and
he could be Paul.
Yeah,
I mean they're interchangeable, really. So they're unpacking and they're doing the things, and we're getting what I guess counts as character development. And then a couple of them, they're going to go to the local store and they're going to pick up beer and food and stuff. And while they're there, they run into, I hate to call them a biker gang because there's only 3 of them. They're more just a group, 3 bikers.
Like a triple threat of misfits.
Yeah. It's like, and this is where I'm also like, you brought up earlier that maybe a little bit of racism, maybe here as well. As all 3 of them.
Yeah, because the only like people of color are like somebody who's asked to get food stamps and is seen arguing with their family, and then the other people are just like misfits, delinquents, juveniles. Bikers, yeah.
You have Ali. He's he's the big black guy, right? Big, tough, scary. You have his stereotype Hispanic sidekick Loco, which that's rough. And then you have the girl of the triad, Fox, played by the late Gloria Charles, who loved her part, loved what she did in this movie. She actually worked on one of the older documentaries, not Crystal Lake Memories, but one of the older ones. And I believe Fox and Chuck are also playable in the F-13 game as counselors.
And I think in that documentary you're talking about, she goes to the little like stretch of the wooden like water plank or whatever that goes out into the lake. Yeah. And she's like, this is where Jason was born. And you look at it and you're like, that doesn't really look like much.
Yeah. She was apparently a very sweet lady. And I guess whoever, owns the rights to her looks and her estate or whatever got, the developers of F-13 got the okay to use her likeness and her character. in the game and everything. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Our group of kids, they anger the bikers. The bikers beat up their car, but the kids get away and they get back to Higgins Haven. But the bikers have found them. But on the property of Higgins Haven is a big, big barn. And who's hiding in there but our boy Jason? That's for whatever reason, he has decided to chill in that barn. The bikers are going to go fuck with the kids. They're going to siphon their gas and do this and do that. Well, Fox goes into the barn and disappears. Loco goes in to find her. She is pinned against the wall with a pitchfork through her neck. Sadly, I can only give that a 1 because you don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go same. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just pinned, and he's like, oh shit. And there's our boy Jason with I can't remember if it's the same pitchfork or if he has another one, but he impales Loco right to the sternum with it, and then I give that like a 2. It's nothing gory, it's nothing new, just kind of
I'd say a 3 for me, only because when it happened, I thought, like, I kind of felt it in my stomach, like how I feel. I was like, oh man, that would suck.
Oh yeah, it would definitely suck.
Yeah.
So there goes 2 of the bikers, and of course Ali, he's gonna go in there, and he's like, where are you dumb fucks at? And of course he finds their bodies, and Jason clubs him over the head with what looks like a giant wrench.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess is what that is, a giant monkey wrench almost.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. We cut to the kids in Higgins Haven. Of course, they're completely oblivious to all this murder going on in the barn right down the road or right on the property. And night falls. Jason's going to make his move.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, we should also mention too that this was made in 1982, so it was kind of like a high period, or at least the period where disco was still popular, and the theme song to this movie is heavily invested in letting you remind you of that.
Well, look, we're trying to make the F-13 series sound good, not bad. I didn't want to bring up the disco. God. But no, I mean, you're right. It's something.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all, actually. I think it's kind of like it's like a horror disco tune. It's not as bad as, like, we'll get to it later, but like other theme songs and other F-13 movies.
Okay. Night falls. Here comes Jason. First, we have Vera's out by the lake. She's just chilling. And Shelly, being the awkward nerd that he is like playing pranks on her. Like, he's jumping out of the water to scare her, and he's got this goofy hockey mask on, and he's got a spear gun, but he's not going to hurt her or anything. And, you know, he's trying to, I guess, impress her. I guess that's what he's going for. Like, look how goofy and fun I am. But obviously, it's just pissing her off.
Mm-hmm.
But then, you know, he goes away sad. But then, like you said, she kind of takes pity on him. She's like, you know, maybe I was too hard on him.
Yeah, maybe I should just get naked and boink him. No, that doesn't cross her mind.
Right? And then she notices that she still has his wallet, and then she dropped it into the lake, and she got it. And she looks, and there's who she thinks is Shelly. She thinks, but it can't be.
This is my favorite line of the whole movie when she's like, "Hey, sorry, dropped your wallet, got it," and then she turns and she's like, "What? Stop playing around," because it's like, I think he's holding a fish spearing gun, right?
Yeah, it's a spear gun.
Spear gun, and then she's like, "Wait, who are you?" But my thoughts on this kill, because I give it like a 5.
Yeah, same.
That she's dying because she gets speared in the eye.
And it looks great.
She's dying thinking that maybe Shelly did that to her because she's not sure if it's him or not.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've never actually thought of that.
Yeah, and I thought,
she could have died thinking that it was that nerd Shelly.
Yeah, like he killed her or something, and I always thought, man, that would suck.
So yeah, like you said, she gets a spear in the eyeball, and down she goes. And of course, it is Jason because we don't see him kill Shelley. We don't even know if he did kill Shelley. We just see him kind of snatch him, and all of a sudden, Jason's got his iconic mask.
The first scene, halfway through the third movie, we finally get the reveal of our actual character that we know and love today.
Yes.
I think we should talk about the practical effects, though, in this one, because they are pretty damn weak. In my opinion, just because, like the spear gun, you can tell it's on a string going towards
well,
that
was the 3D thing, remember?
Yeah.
They had it firing towards the audience, so yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, come on, like you could totally tell, like just do some like cinematography or something to hide that. I don't know. I'm not a special effects person, but like that's one where you can just outright tell that it gives itself away.
Yeah, that's one part. There's another one coming up that's I think even worse than that one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but she's super dead. Shelley's missing. We have Debbie and Andy they just finished boinking. They just did the deed. She goes to take a shower. He's gonna go get a beer. And for whatever reason, he decides to handstand and walk on his hands to the fridge.
Man, the things you had to do to entertain yourself before the internet.
Right. And he barely gets out the bedroom, down the hall, and there's Jason. And it's implied, you kind of don't see it. Jason slices him in half.
It's terribly acted, and it's not the actor's fault, but it's just bad looking.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I still give it a 4 because the dude was doing the handstand, so it's like.
I'm gonna be harsh. I'm gonna give this one a 2.
Oof. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it does not look good. It doesn't. He did he cut him in half at the waist, or did he go from like groin to shoulder?
I think he literally went like down from the groin to like maybe the middle of the stomach or something.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, it's not a good shot. It's a bad angle. It's
like there's this puppet that's clearly like a molded puppet of the guy that they like rigged up to like sit there as a handstand because the camera's looking up through like clear plexiglass.
Yeah.
And then when Jason comes down, I think he's holding a giant machete or a kitchen.
Yes, it is the machete.
Yeah. And he looks rad actually from that angle. But when he comes down, like there's a quick splash of blood. You can tell the dummy like topples over. And then it cuts to looking down on the actor who just like falls over in a very awkward way. And then that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And you're like, okay. Because then almost immediately, Debbie gets out the shower. She's hollering for Andy. Of course, he's not doing so well. So she gets in a hammock and she's reading a magazine. And blood drips down, and she looks up, and it's Andy's mangled corpse and like the rafters that she's in.
Isn't it the magazine she's reading? Isn't it Fangoria?
It is Fangoria. Of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but that always tripped me out. Like Jason knew that she was going to go to that hammock and sit there or lay there, so he put the body up there so it would drip right there and scare her. That always kind of, it's like, did he plan that? But,
right.
She's laying there and she sees his body, and he comes up from below the hammock with, I believe it's a butcher knife, and it goes through her chest, and it's like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm going to give that one a 1.
Because it's the Kevin Bacon imitation.
Yeah, and it doesn't show any blood, and it happens way too swiftly. Like, it's there and gone in a second. It's almost like a MPAA cut or something where they're like, nope, cut it.
No, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah, because it's just like there, and then you're like, okay, well, she's dead. Here's what I'm wondering is, like I said, Jason's underneath the hammock. Mm-hmm. Was he under there and she just didn't see his big ass when she got into the hammock?
He's like, if I don't move, can't see us. Can't see us if we don't move.
And like Richard Brooker, the man who plays Jason in this one, he was well over 6 feet tall. There's no way you can miss this dude. But anyway, so she's dead, and we cut to our stoner couple. And what do you know? They're getting stoned. Surprise. So they're lighting up, and the power goes out. And discount Walmart brand Cheech is like, all right, or excuse me, Chong is like, all right, I'll go check the circuit breaker in the basement, because God knows a stoner knows how to fix a circuit breaker. He goes down there. Hey, there's Jason. Jason shoves him into the fuse box, and it, lights him up, kills him, and it also happens to turn all the power back on in the cabin.
Movie magic.
Because that's how that works. The girlfriend, she's Chili's like, okay, he fixed the power, he'll be up in a little bit, and she hears noise, and she thinks it's Chuck, but who stumbles in but our boy Shelly, and his throat is slit.
Right, which she thinks is a practical effect because of all the trickster playing he's been doing this whole time. She's like, cut it out, Shelly. And then when she realizes he's dead, she says one of my other favorite lines of this movie, where she yells out to everyone. She's like, Shelly's dead.
Yeah. And then out of nowhere and very quickly, Jason gets her with a fire poker right through the sternum really quick again. And she makes kind of a goofy face when it happens. Yeah, it's not great.
I think because of that, the way she like ran out into the fireplace area, the den, and she called out to everyone and then turns around and gets that hot poker in her. I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because
of the Shelly's dead.
Yeah, I just love that. I don't know why.
Because it's goofy.
Yeah.
So there they go.
How would you rate that one, Rob?
That's only like a 2.
Okay.
I mean, and again, the same with you. It's because of the lead up to it, not so much the kill itself.
And I think like after having played Friday the 13th, the actual game, I think we're all like, yeah, it would have been cool to see her head thrown into the fireplace.
Yeah, cooking with Jason.
Yeah.
Then we get to our main group, or our main couple here of Rick and Chris, and they've been out driving, and she admits to him that the reason she came here and she invited everyone was a couple years ago when she was a little girl and she was here with her parents. She was in the woods. She ran away because her parents had made her mad, and she was going to teach them a lesson. So she ran into the woods, and once she was there, a deformed man attacked her with a knife. But she was able to get away. She never told anyone.
But like the way it's played off is like it appears as if she was raped by Jason.
Yeah.
And
it's like that's how it's almost like framed, but she doesn't say it.
Right. And then the thing that I get from this, because I don't think it actually happened. I think what happened was she was having a premonition. The reason being is because when she tells the story at the end, she says, after he attacked me, somehow I was in my bed afterward.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know how she got back home. I don't think Jason was like, hey, I'm going to rape you and tuck you in. So
I can't imagine Jason raping a girl.
Right. And that just seems out of character for him. So
Very
I
much.
have always taken that scene as she was having a premonition of what was going to happen to her later in life, which was she was going to be attacked by him. And then, of course, since she's the final girl, that would make sense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She admits that to him, and Rick's like, oh, shit, sorry. And then for some reason, I can't remember, the car dies. And they have to walk back.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they walk back, and they get back to Higgins, and of course, everyone's dead. And they find like some bloody clothes, and they kind of freak out and everything. And here comes my kill of the movie, my favorite kill. I give it, before I even say what it is, I give it a 5 because of 1, how goofy it looks.
Oh man.
And 2, because for that time it was original. It was something different for Jason to do. But he gets behind He gets behind Rick and he's like crushing his head between his hands, like squeezing his head from the like on his temples. And because it was that 3D gimmick stuff, there's a shot looking right at this really bad dummy head of Rick, and the eyeball pops out. It's amazing, and it's 6 out of 5.
6 out of 5 for the eyeball kill.
Yeah, man. Because it's so dumb.
I'm gonna give it like a 2.
I mean, that's fair, because it is bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it is bad.
It is really bad. And I kind of feel bad almost for Rick, played by Paul, because
Paul.
He was so trying to get with Chris, who is probably one of the most gorgeous final girls of the whole series.
Yep.
Dana Kimmel. And, she tells this story about that story, and he's like, so I guess I'm not getting laid tonight, basically.
And then he gets his eyeball popped out.
And it's not a bad kill, but I just it's too goofy for me. Although, and even Jason holding Rick, played by Paul, on the side of the building and like keeping him hush hush when Chris is literally 2 feet away. Yeah.
Yeah.
So suspension of disbelief, hardcore on this third entry in the series.
And we've got so many more to go. And that's when begins the classic cat and mouse of Final Girl and Jason. All through the cabin, she's actually fighting against him. It's not just her running. Like, she pushes a bookshelf on him. She whacks him in the knee with I want to say his own machete or a butcher's knife or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she fights against him. It's not just, oh shit, let me go hide in the closet or whatever.
Or pee under the bed.
Oh God. Yeah, that. But she tries, but of course it's Jason, so he's still trucking along. So she breaks out and she gets to the barn, and of course he follows her in there and he finds her, but she's able to get a noose around his neck and hang him. And he's hung, looks pretty dead, but then he's not, because he lifts his mask up.
And this is what I brought up last time about how I think later on in the series, Jason's just having fun offing teens.
Yeah.
He just smiles at her and she's like, "It's you!" Remembering
she recognizes,
from her, yeah, from earlier. And we should mention too that Jason, played by Richard Brooker, in Crystal Lake Memories, he does bring up the fact that when she pushed those books on him, he's like, "Yeah, that hurt like hell."
Anybody that has played Jason in the movie is a tough motherfucker, because God knows they got the shit kicked out of them.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. But so he's like, nope, hanging ain't gonna work on me because I got this mongoloid neck and you can't really hang me. So
yeah.
So he gets down from the noose and he's going towards her. And Ali is still alive. He survived the clubbing of the wrench to the head. And he tries to attack Jason, and it doesn't go so well.
Yeah, he's hard-headed. I like this twist, though, that he's still alive, even though it's completely short-lived, and he dies immediately.
Yeah, because he gets his arm hacked off, and he gets macheted, as they say. When he was busy with Ali, she got an axe, a wood-cutting axe. And when he turns around, man, she lays that axe into his skull and drops him, and he falls to his knees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he reaches for her, or does he walk and reach for her?
I think he walks and reaches for her.
Walks for her? Okay, yeah. He fights it off almost a little bit, reaching his hand out, trying to grab her, I guess, with his last little bit of strength, and, then boom, falls over, we assume dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we cut to she's out on the lake, like in the first one. In the first movie, she's out on the lake in the boat. This is dumb. The rotting corpse of Pamela Voorhees jumps out of the lake and grabs her. And then it cuts to, but no, she's really with the paramedics. They're at the barn wheeling her out. And Jason is still there looking dead.
Ma'am, there wasn't no old lady. Then she's still there.
We didn't find no boy.
I don't know why I always do the country accent. Just let you do it, Rob.
We didn't find no boy. But yeah, and that's kind of it. It's like you got this really goofy stinger. It's like the corpse of Pamela Voorhees comes out of the lake, even though she was beheaded, grabs her, and as they're wheeling her away in the ambulance, doesn't she think she sees Jason's maskless face in the window?
Yeah, well, it's when she's in the boat. She thinks that he's up there, and he runs out through the back door.
That's it.
Out to the harbor. Yeah, and then she's like, nah, and then that's when she wakes up, I think, or Pamela comes out.
Pamela comes out of the water.
Yeah. I do own that toy too, the NECA Pamela swamp or lake figure. The original one, the original NECA one, where it has like little mongoloid Jason and where she's still alive, she doesn't look dead. That one you can only find for like $300 or something.
Oh yeah, it's absurd.
Mm-hmm. And I understand things having value, but God, I wish NECA would re-release that. That would be awesome.
That would, because obviously I don't have that one either, because I was late to the game to get that one. That'd be pretty sweet to have. I have seen it I saw it at one of the Monster Mania conventions I went to, and the packaging was damaged, and he only wanted $230 for it. So there you go.
That's it. Pocket change.
Because the packaging was damaged, so $70 off the average price.
Man, that's pretty harsh, but yeah, they and as of this recording, NECA did just release the Part 7 Jason, which I did get. That one's it's so good. I think they're gonna continue onward to release the rest of them. Hopefully, nothing's been announced yet.
Yeah, hopefully there's no more lawsuits and God knows what else.
Mm-hmm. Really quickly, because we're kind of trying to see where we can keep these recordings not too high, but kind of minimal. What did you think of the Friday the 13th game, the newer one?
The newer one, like a lot of games like that, it had a rough launch, but with updates, it got really, really great. If I had an issue with it, it was a group of counselors that knew what they were doing, were working together. Jason kind of doesn't stand a chance.
Right.
Whether it's baiting him around furniture that he can't attack you through, or just literally ganging up on him with like baseball bats and shit.
Oh man, there were some times where like I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited to play, and all the teens got together, and I literally just got my ass handed to me.
Yeah.
As soon as I would get up, they'd knock me right back down.
Yeah, that's my only problem with it, and I love, and I may get flack for this, which is completely fair, I guess, but I love the single player because I can turn I can be drunk off my ass, and I can be not playing at my best, and I can still go around and kill teenagers.
Oh yeah, with the bots.
Yeah, because the bots aren't, even on hard, they're not very smart. But like I can't do that if I'm playing against humans. I have to be on my game to stand a chance.
Oh yeah. I got OP at that game for a little bit. I would use Part 4 Jason because I thought he was not only the fastest, because he could run, but he could also get through doors. I think in like 2.5 swings almost. Yeah.
Yes, he had the movement of Part 2 Jason, but could break down stuff like Part 8 Jason.
Right.
He was.
Yeah.
And that weapon was sweet. It was like that giant ass meat cleaver thing.
Oh hell yeah, the butcher. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I think too, like when I first started playing it, the thrill of finding parts, like because I would play it with a friend and escaping together. I mean, that was something I'd never kind of done in a game before that game.
Yeah. So that was a new experience. Or like me and my buddy, we would play, And sometimes, and of course, we're in a party. We're talking to each other, not to the rest of the, players. And sometimes, one of us would end up being Jason, and then the shit talking would commence, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. Again, not the best thing, but I will take it any day of the week, even day one launch edition. I will take over Dead by Daylight.
There's a lot of Dead by Daylight fans, and they really had to get every other horror franchise just to freaking compete. But yeah, I would still take F-13, the game, over DOD or DVD. But I think it's mostly the fact that there's just more of a fighting chance in the 13 game. Rather, Dead by Daylight, you get hit once, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, what bores me is, as the killer, you're supposed to put them on the hooks and let the Cthulhu monster or whatever take them away.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do that. I want to, put them in the fireplace or smash them with a bird bath or something.
Yeah, use iconic kills from the movie.
Yeah, I want to, do that. I don't want to be like Leatherface and then leave it up to a giant Lovecraftian horror to do my kills for me.
I agree.
That's what pisses me off about that game. That's why I don't play it.
Agreed, 100%. And the DLC was also ridiculously priced last time I looked.
Oh yeah, they always are, especially into the license shit. And then, like you said, of course, they got all the cool. Hell, man, they got Ash. As a survivor.
Ash is a survivor. Laurie Strode. They got Stranger Things. Now they got Hellraiser. Yeah, it's a lot.
They even went as far and they got Pyramid Head as a killer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want to be Pyramid Head, but I don't want to be him in a shitty game.
Doing getting teens to die by some other monster than actual Pyramid Head.
Yeah, I want to use my giant knife thing. But no.
The oversized Japanese Final Fantasy sword knife.
That he just drags along.
Yeah. I will agree with all those sentiments. It's definitely, not the best game ever, but for the horror franchise, yes, I'll agree. I will take it as well.
Yeah. God, I mean, I always thought maybe if they did a single player mode, they got it where you could go against bots. I'm like, maybe I'd look into it then, but it'd still be the same thing. I'm still got to put them on the meat hook.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And leave them. And it's and that just ruins it. I mean, I don't want to imagine guys like Pinhead and Freddy and Leatherface doing that.
Same. Oh, and speaking of which, Gun Media, who did create Friday the 13th, the game, they did just announce that they're doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. So.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I'm excited.
Oh shit! Especially if they somehow work in where you can play as the Sawyer family, not just Leatherface.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to play as Grandpa. I just want to sit around.
You just have to sit there and hope one of them runs by.
Yeah, and then hope that my family helps me hit him in the head with a hammer.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. I'd pay $60 for that.
But overall, what did you think of part 3?
Part 3, if I'm taking off my rose-tinted glasses of looking at it as one of the few movies that I used to own.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at it as just, not that, it's got to be I'm going to go with out of 5, I'll go with 3 out of 5 or 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Yeah.
Because you got the iconic mask, we got Jason's look. The characters aren't, the teens aren't completely insufferable, though they are a little bit on the racist side, as we discussed.
Yes.
But the special effects are lacking. Very much so. The goofy Pamela Voorhees, Swamp Voorhees coming out. It's yeah.
I agreed. I'll just add to that with the Shelley is one of the most memorable teens of the series.
Yes.
and like attached to him, obviously Vera, in that case, and the hippies memorable for stupid reasons. But it does have like cool lines, when Fox is swinging in the barn house, she says, "Oh, this is fun." And I always remember that for some reason. And then, of course, Shelly's dead.
Oh, and when I was doing some research for this episode, one thing I didn't know, but I learned, in this entire movie, no one calls him Jason.
Oh, shit, really?
No one says Jason. Not the teens, not the medics, or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, they never say Jason.
That's crazy to me.
And I always wondered if that was like something from a very like early draft of the script where maybe it wasn't going to be Jason.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have anyone say Jason just in case, but no Jason.
That's interesting to think about. Well, who was the girl at the beginning again, too, with the curlers in her hair?
Oh, Edna?
Edna. I don't know why, but I actually always thought she was kind of cute.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Speaking of cute, I did promise that I would tell my Kane Hodder story.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert's got some more, you said, so we can
I've got
those.
Like couple, but I can do those later, obviously.
Okay. That would be great to have those in the next couple episodes. My Kane Hodder story. So was Elvira, who I ran into so many times in the hallways. I was like, "Hey, Cassandra Peterson."
Mm.
And when we were in the waiting room to go get our photos with Kane because he was dressing up as Manhattan Jason, he actually had his duffel bag with him. He stopped into the room. He's like, "Hey guys, is it okay if I just go like this, not put on the outfit?" And we're all like, "No, Kane." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, you fucking idiot." And he walks away.
Yeah, he loves what he does, man. He's such a cool dude.
Oh yeah, he's so nice. And I'm dressed like Part 3 Jason, funny enough.
Nice.
And yeah, and I go in there, I take off my hockey mask and everything, and I set it on a chair. I go up to him like, "Hey Kane, it's nice to meet you. Big fan, blah blah blah." I was like, "Hey, I saw my friend," and I was referring to you. I was like, in the picture he did with you, you choked him, and I was wondering, for the picture, can you choke me too? He's like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "But we got to do it like this." And it's like he teleported from being in front of me to behind me. And he literally, like a sleeper hold, started choking the shit out of me.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there trying to smile for the camera, and I can't because Kane is literally choking me, dressed up as Manhattan Jason. And after a couple flashes, he literally throws me away.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out, pushes my head, just shoves me away, and I'm like, "Thanks, Kane."
Yeah. He knows what we want, man.
Yeah, and because Kane's a stuntman, we should say, so he knows what he's doing. And I think he was like 70 years old at the time. Good God, he had strength like an ox.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a big dude.
Oh yeah, and so I got the picture with him, but he was laughing the whole time, and I was walking away. He was laughing his head off.
Yeah.
And,
man, he loves it.
Yeah.
He knows we love it.
Yeah, and he knows we love it. So that was my Kane story. It was fun. It was nice to meet him. I'll always be glad I got choked out by Jason. So
yeah, that is that's something that'll be with you till the day you die.
Yes. Probably death come up behind me and be like, "My turn."
You'd be like, "Sweet, but not doing it as good though."
Yeah, Kane was stronger. But yeah.
Yeah, cool dude. Cool dude.
Mm-hmm. But so I guess that concludes our second episode of the whole podcast.
Yeah, second episode with the third movie down. We'll get to go to obviously the next one with everyone's favorite Corey, I would say. Everyone's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of people's favorite movie in the entire series.
I I can believe that. It's a strong one. It's a very strong one.
Oh yeah. I think one of the scariest ones too, if in terms of horror, like probably back in the day.
Yeah, I would do that one and the first one just because the first one was so new at the time. Just like
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know, but yeah, I
Gosh.
can't wait to get to that one. That one's gonna be a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I agree. And thanks everyone for listening. We're gonna keep churning these out when we can. And we appreciate anyone subbing
Yes.
or sharing or just leaving a comment. So please do that, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, hey guys. Please.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh.
Kids.
All right, but thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.